This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Now the session is getting recorded. Settle down and relax, everybody. And please focus on every explanation what I am trying to present, which will give you the best clarity about entire flow. All right. So first of all, thank you all for participating in this introduction session. To begin with, let me introduce about myself. This is Vamshi. I'm a trainer and I've been working in this SAP domain. It's been almost since 2004, I can say. And I've been training people. It's been almost since 2006. And I do take up the training programs before and after my work hours. And my identity is I am an SAP SD consultant. That's the reason I'm teaching this module. It's been almost 18 plus years. I've been working in this domain and trained almost near about 3,500 plus trainees across the world of different platform people, I can say. All right, so that's the involvement of mine. Coming forward, you all are here to learn the module SD. Yes, I teach all these areas, all the areas of SD module 100%. Main focus here is all about how this training program is organized. First point, this training program is organized like a project, which is very, very important to know, which is based on all real time. So ఒక ట్రైనింగ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఏదైతే ఇక్కడ ఆర్గనైజ్ చేస్తున్నామో ఇది ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ బేస్డ్ ఉంది. అంటే ఒక నిజంగా మీరు ఒక కంపెనీలో ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో వర్క్ చేస్తుంటే ఆ వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది అన్నది ఇక్కడ రియల్ टाइम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू నేర్చుకుంటాం. यहाँ पे ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम जो है एक प्रोजेक्ट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू डिजाइन किया गया है विच कवर्स द कंप्लीट रियल टाइम. मतलब सही में आप एक प्रोजेक्ट में अगर पहला दिन से लेके आखिरी दिन तक अगर काम किए हो सो रियल टाइम कैसा आप समझते हो, यू विल लर्निंग ऑल ऑफ देम. लैंग्वेज इज नॉट अ बैरियर. I speak good Telugu, good English and good Hindi. Wherever needed, I step into the local language and I'll explain in 3 languages. That means that point is more focused. And session is getting recorded. If you face any inconvenience in session, no need to worry at all. After the class, you will get the recording file so that you can go through it. You can replay how many times you want. Entire session you can go through again and again till you understand. And everybody please mute yourself so that there will be no disturbance in the process. So when I say this training program is organized like a project, what is project? Project is nothing but implementation of SAP in a company. For example, I say Kia. For example, I say Lenovo. For example, I say Cipla. For example, I say Nissan. So whenever I start a batch, I will be taking an example of a company like this and teach the entire module SD, customizing for that particular company in the entire batch. దాంతో ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే మీరు కంపెనీలో కనుక ఎంప్లాయ్ అయిన తర్వాత ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో వర్క్ చేస్తుంటే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ థింక్ అబౌట్ సే take an example of Hyundai. Hyundai is an SAP implemented company. So Hyundai అనే కంపెనీలో SAP ఇంప్లిమెంట్ అయింది. సో మీరు కనుక ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో వర్క్ చేస్తుంటే ఆ క్లయింట్ యొక్క రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ రియల్ టైం. సో యూ లర్న్ హియర్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద క్లయింట్, what is the client requirement, how you analyze it, how you organize it, how you customize it, how you execute it. So client is all about what is the project. Client requirement, how he is organized, how you are understanding, how your understanding is database, how you are customizing that in SAP system, how you are executing. This is all real time. So whenever I start a batch, I'll be taking an example of a company. I've taken for a batch Kia, for a batch Lenovo, for a batch Cipla. For this batch, I'm going to start with an example company as Hyundai, so that you understand right from the day that real-time concept. Right from the day one, you're understanding the real-time. Fine. So by learning only SD module, will you get this all knowledge? Yes or no? We can't say. Not possible. Customizing only SD is not the company's project, right? Company is having so many other departments. Sales means SD, accounting means FI, production means PP, inventory means MM, warehouse means WM. These are the domain names, these are the modules in SAP. So when you are implementing SAP into a company, it is not only SD. We have finance, we have production, we have inventory, we have warehousing, अन्नी modules execution इतने complete project. सभी modules का execution हुआ तो ही project बनता है. Alright. So in this journey, you are going to learn the complete SD process, which is all about O to C, order to cash. So to get this order to cash executed as a complete cycle, what you need to do? We are taking example of Hyundai as a company. Okay, we customize all the areas SDAs. I teach all. Along with this, I cover some part of FI module also. That is how GL works, general ledger, in terms of AR and in terms of AP. Why? When you're selling, when a sale is happening, if the product price is not presented, what you will sell? After the sale, if the bill is not raised, what you will get? So FI integration will tell the understanding of the price and the billing concept. You also understand how production planning works. Why? When you're selling a product through SD, which plant is sourcing the stock? And a plant stock source chestundi annadi, if not integrated, you cannot move in the sales. SD model execute avadu. So you learn how the plant functionality works in terms of PP along with SD. Materials management. Why? When you are executing the sales module in SAP, materials management play a vital role, which will source the understanding of inventory, which is all about procurement, which is all about availability. All right. So you learn point of view how inventory, procurement, availability will be recognized during the sales operations. Now we come across with warehouse management. I can say I only cover SD with WM. Why? What is the importance of this? Why I am highlighting this? Now, when I say WM, it is all about warehouse management. Why we connect warehouse management? For STP, stock transportation process. What is stock transportation process? I'll give you one simple example. Please try to understand, everybody. Take an example of Amazon. Always I take as a common example. Easily it understands to everybody. When you want to buy something in Amazon, you go to web and you select the product. Is there any person sitting over there to tell you the stock? Nobody. It shows how much stock is there. Once you give your postal code, it shows how much stock is there near to you. Once you place an order, it will deduct the stock from the inventory and it will show the next stock to the next customer. How this is happening? This is automation. That is the latest update of SAP. Automation. Automation is the latest update which you learn here. Everything should trigger automatically. That is the concept of new versions of SAP, and you're learning all these new updates. Please understand. So SD with FI, SD with production, SD with inventory, SD with warehouse. When you learn, you get to see one full end-to-end implementation exposure of SAP. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మన హుండై అన్న కంపెనీకి మనం తీసుకొని మొత్తం SD మోడల్ కస్టమైజ్ చేసి ఇవన్నీ ఏరియాస్ లో మెయిన్ ఏరియాస్ ని కస్టమైజ్ చేస్తే ఇన్ దిస్ ట్రైనింగ్ రూమ్ ఒక ఎండ్ టు ఎండ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ సైకిల్ మీరు చూస్తారు. मतलब यहाँ पे अगर हम लोग हुंडई एग्जाम्पल एक कंपनी लेके पूरा SD मॉड्यूल 100% कॉन्फ़िगर करके ये अदर मॉड्यूल का मेन एरियाज भी अगर आप कॉन्फ़िगर कर दिए तो आप एक एंड टू एंड सेल्स साइकिल यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं. That is the best knowledge of your one project cycle, also known as one end to end implementation cycle. So I am grooming my trainee, giving this one full end-to-end understanding by taking a project. When I'm during the process of subject teaching, I am taking a project example and I am teaching all that real time as a business scenarios which speaks about business process. So with this knowledge, trainees are able to crack an interview by putting on 3+ or 4+ years of experience. There is no history. My trainee failed in an interview, in a technical round, because what is project here he is able to speak, what is that project exposure he is able to speak, what was the client he is able to speak, how you customize he was able to speak, how cross functionality he was able to speak, and what was your project roles he was able to speak, because that is what is the real time as a scenarios I am teaching as a business process, business requirements. So when you are able to speak about every involvement, you can easily convince the interviewer. So the talk between my trainee and the interviewer, it's like to talk between two professionals, and that is the best point of understanding assessment during the interview process. All right, so understanding is all about your knowledge, assessment is about what is your knowledge. Fine. Writing all these on the board will be very rosy. Board पे చూడడం బాగుంటది, but నిజంగా జరుగుతుందా? बोर्ड पे देखना सही है, सही है, अच्छा लगेगा, लेकिन हकीकत में होता क्या? All right, so what I do now, I'm log into the SAP screen. I will execute one sales transaction using my existing batch structure, which is already completed. When you see one full end-to-end cycle, you will understand, okay, if Mr. Vamshi as a trainer takes an example of Hyundai as a company, and when he teaches the entire subject, when he customizes everything for Hyundai, how it works at the end of the day, you will get a clarity. So let me log into the SAP screen here. Please wait, everybody. I'm just logging. So This is the SAP Easy Access, the front end screen. All right. I'll teach you as we go how to log into the SAP screen. Everything you learn today. It is our first introduction session. Just understand. See, simple example. మీరు ఒక కొత్త కార్ కొందామని ఒక షోరూమ్ వెళ్తే కార్ ఒక టెస్ట్ డ్రైవ్ చూస్తారు. To feel how a car functions, to feel how a car performs, to feel how a car is comfortable. అదే పాయింట్ ఇక్కడ జరుగుతుంది అనుకోండి. ఒక ట్రైనింగ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ జాయిన్ అవుతున్నామో, ఒక ట్రైనింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ జరుగుతుంది అంటే how is teaching, what is the goal and how is the output. So यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हो what is the outcome of the program as an introduction part. So just focus on what I am trying to express. So यहाँ पे I am executing one already complete batch structure so that you will understand how it looks at the end of the day when you configure everything for Hyundai. Okay. So SD is all about sales order. In SD means sales and distribution. When you are customizing the SD model for a company, what the company operates in SD? Sales transaction, right? Now, for example, for a batch, I've taken HLL as an example. For a batch, I've taken Sony. For a batch, I've taken Nissan. For a batch, I've taken Kia. For a batch, I've taken Hyundai long back. So whenever I start, I'll take a company. Now think that HLL is the company SAP is implemented, and the employee of HLL is operating SAP system to execute a sales transaction. That is what you're going to see now. Let's see now. And everything what you see, everything is tagged with HLL as a name. The main logic here is when you are implementing SAP into a company, you will be customizing the company infrastructure. Simple example, you want to construct a building, you invite a builder. Builder is constructing the building according to your preference. Atlage, when we are implementing SAP into a company, we need to configure the company's infrastructure. That's the reason everything you see here, everything is named with HLL if you see. That means you are exploring to the live business process. रियल गा और कंपनी लो को प्रोजेक्ट जैसे आ कंपनी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सही में अगर आप एक कंपनी में इंप्लीमेंट किए तो उनका इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कैसा दिया जाता है. ओके. So the flow of the business process is all about the, say here you can see this is the order happening for HLL in the geographical location at the outlet, that is online store. So here I can say what I've taken, online store, offline store. HLL sell their product through online store, offline. So I say online this happening. They have body products, body care, they have hair care, and they have general. I take for example hair care. Continue. So I am creating a sales order. I repeat again, I am operating the values which is already configured for my previous happened batch to show you how it will be at the end of the day after you configure everything. Okay, simple. When you want to give a contract to a builder will show you a model house. When you're convinced with his model house present, then you'll give a contract to him. Same here, I am showing you one full business process execution of completed batch structure. With this process, you are understanding, okay, when you learn, when you make, when you execute, how it works. Okay, done. Now here, my customer ID, say HLL1, my customer Mr. Anil, and the product HLL hair care. This is the product code what I made. Order quantity as 1. When I say enter, now here comes the live scenarios. Writing on the board, you learn the live scenarios, fine, but you need to feel it at least in the introduction. See, the scenario here is, for example, think about Amazon again. When you want to buy something in Amazon, you may have multiple addresses, right? You may have your home address, you may have your office address, you may have your friend address. So you should have a provision of adding multiple address. So when you're placing an order, which address to be considerable for shipping, system should ask. And it asks during your order placing in Amazon. How to set up that preference in SAP? In SAP also, my client is located in Mumbai and he's placing an order from Mumbai and he want product to be delivered to his Chennai address. How? So here that scenario, Anil is the one who is placing an order, but shipping, he got Anil as him only as preference, Ravi as one more address as preference. If Anil is not saying anything, defaultly system picks up as his address. Same what happens in Amazon. If you're not saying anything, it picks up the default address. If you have any other, you can. So adding up multiple shipping addresses. This is one of the point. So like this, you learn the subject with some real-time scenarios. That is what is the brief point to you. రేపు పొద్దున మీరు ఇంటర్వ్యూ అటెండ్ అవుతున్నారు, ఆల్రెడీ ఎస్ఏపీలో వర్క్ చేస్తున్నా అని చెప్తారు, ఏం చేస్తున్నారు అంటారు, ఎట్లా చేస్తున్నారు అంటారు. यू स्पीक दिस रियल टाइम. कल को आप एक 3-4 साल एक्सपीरियंस लगा के अगर आप एक इंटरव्यू अटेंड करेगा, जाहिर है इंटरव्यूअर पूछेगा क्या किए हो, कैसे किए हो. When you have this scenarios understanding, you can tell this is what the client asking, this is the way I'm done. So everything should be in your knowledge. If somebody is asking you a question, you should have a spontaneous reply. When you are experienced, you will have a reply. And here you are learning that experienced exposure. That is what you get the best from me, which you will not get elsewhere outside. Even you go to YouTube or Google, they will teach on standards, but they'll not show in live configuration like this. When you explore a blank page book ichi raskondi ante, that is knowledge. Already printed book ichi chadukondi ante, it's a reading. You're not here to follow something, you are here to make something and follow that. That itself is an exposure. Okay, see here one more scenario. Already this customer is taken a quotation which is valid still for some time, and I'm creating an order. System is showing already you have given a quotation, would you like to continue? If I say list, it will show that quotation. If I say continue, allows to go directly. So messaging system, when you initiate the messaging system, it works. Simple example, you've been to a showroom, right? When you've been to a showroom, you ask for a quotation, showroom person gave a quotation, sir, before Navratri you place an order, you will get some discount. Now again you are going tomorrow to the same showroom asking for the same quotation. The store person say, yesterday I given, though same is applicable, because still it is valid. So system person recognizes. How system recognizes? Here you can see that is the concept of messaging system. So when you learn with such real-time scenarios, you can express. Based upon your expression, opposite person understand what kind of depth of knowledge you have. I say continue. I want to create a fresh order. Now watch me here carefully, everybody. This is all about creation of standard order, sales order happening in SD module. Pricing coming from finance, procurement from MM, date of delivery from WM, functionality of plant from production planning. What I am written on the board, you are learning the SD module as complete, because when you're raising a sales order means until the complete SD module is configured, the order cannot be processed. So until the SD is integrated with production planning, warehouse management, finance, warehouse, Your module end-to-end cycle cannot be, because in a company sales module is the final stage. Sales module ఒక సేల్స్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ జరుగుతుంది అంటే warehouse is connected, inventory, that is the is connected, production is connected, finance is connected, because investment to production, production to stocking, stocking to warehousing, warehouse to outlets, outlets to customer. So you're seeing a transaction happening for a customer, Mr. Anil, of a material. That is what is happening. In this screen, you see all modules cross functionality. See here, everybody. Focus. Price of a product. Fine. Procurement, if I go, it is showing a material available date on 30th. What is today? Today is 21st. The date of delivery on 1st. How? Normally, whenever you go for a shopping, if there are so many orders in pipeline, you will get a date of delivery after those orders, right? Think about Amazon. You're placing an order. The delivery time will be within 3 working days, 4 working days, by 25th, by 27th, by 29th, depending upon number of orders. That's the concept of availability. Today is 21st. By the time the product get delivered, it is 1st. That is on 30th the product is available. That is the connectivity of procurement, means materials management. If I go to shipping, it gives the break even. 30th the product is available, loading is happening on 30th, delivery is scheduled on 1st from the plant of HLL, from the shipping point of HLL. Like this, when you start configuring everything lively, you will get a real-time explosion. All right, so this is the outcome. What I've written on the board: SD with FI, SD with production, SD with MM, SD with WM. I shown you the process for one of my previous completed batch structure. When we start working for this, maybe for Hyundai or some other company, Hyundai or Jaguar or any such company, I'll take up one. And when we see all those customizing, finally you can see like this. And in this process, I take a company and I configure that all during the entire training program. I will make my trainee, that is you, to take a company from your side and start working on the exercises of me given on that. With this, what happened? I am playing a client role for you to give you a business requirement understanding. I am playing a trainer role for you to show you how to customize like a consultant. I am playing you end user role to show you the execution process. So I'm playing all the roles for you. Tomorrow when you join a job, you understand the client easily, you customize as a consultant easily, you understand the end user situations easily. All multi-skill tasks you are getting explored over here. That is the best point of training, understanding. That is the best point of training, getting updated, getting groomed of every business process requirement. So how dedicatedly you are following my guidelines, you can learn a very good subject. 2 months odd the training program. Every day 1 hour, Monday to Friday. If I do 1 hour session, you will get the lab exercise not less than 3 to 4 hours. So if I take 1 hour session, you are engaged with some work for 3 to 4 hours. That may be beyond that, depending upon understanding. Somebody is doing 3 hours, somebody is done in 4 hours, somebody take 1 day, somebody take 2 days, depending upon your understanding, depending upon your receiving sense. So you get all this exposure in leisure. Okay, so again I'll say, no need to worry at all. You all will get the recording file. After the class, you can play the recording. You can ask the coordinator to send the recording. The coordinator will sending you the recording. Coordinator is the guy who given you this meeting link to join. Please call the coordinator after the class to send the recording link so that you all can replay and see how the way, what the way is explained the subject. So what is the goal of this training program? It is all about a project base which gives you real-time understanding, which gives you understanding of one project cycle. It is all about one full end-to-end implementation, which speaks about the complete SD model, 100% of order to cash cycle, which gives you a complete cross-functionality understanding of FI, production, WM. Other than SD, you learn some part of these modules, some 20 to 25% of finance, some 20% of production, 30% of material management. I cover most of the part of material management because it is very closely connected with SD. Bringing the stock is releasing the stock is SD. Until the major part of is not configured, you cannot bring in the stock. And that stock you release by SD model. Until you complete configure SD, you cannot release. And WM as an extra skill set of releasing the stock automation. So these are the highlights which you will not get elsewhere outside. People say, not I say. Okay, that is the trainees who undergo. They say we have gone through so many resources, but lot of difference. You have been noticing, you have been feeling that it's been almost from past 35 minutes I'm speaking about this. Fine. About the goal of the training program, अर्थమైంది, cross functionality समझ में आया, done. Basically, some people may know what is SAP, some people may not be known what is SAP. Let us have very basic introduction now. Well, SAP and TNT. Fine. Now, normally, when you are buying some product, you see the durability of it. When you're learning some technology, how long you can make your career in this technology? Is there any competitor to SAP? Where SAP stand in the market? Okay, Mr. Vamshi is teaching well, and if you're learning the module, yes, you're confident enough now, fine. But how long you can survive in SAP? Who are the competitors, if any? Let us understand these basics also, so that what tool you have selected, SAP, what module you selected, where it stand, how long you can, everything that also, if you get clarity, you are clear about your process and you can start your journey with clear takeoff. So let's see now. Now, when it comes to the very basics of introduction, so here you all can see SAP is the product of ERP. What is ERP? ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. See, this is an ERP era. You go to any company, they are using some or the other ERP tool to maintain their database. So there are so many ERP products available in the market. Microsoft got an ERP concept as Microsoft Dynamics. Oracle itself is an ERP, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards. Likewise, SAP is one of the ERP which play a #1 role in the market. What is the concept? How? Simple example I'll give you. Microsoft as a company, though they have Microsoft Dynamics, but Microsoft as a company runs on SAP. The SAP is implemented by Microsoft. Competitor is using the SAP software to maintain their database. There itself we can understand where SAP stand in the market. Globally, worldwide, if you see, top 10 companies, if I say 6 to 8 runs on SAP. You take any company. For example, the place where you're sitting and adjust in your home. The fan, the ceiling fan, what is running, the AC which is running, the refrigerator, what is in your home, the television which is running in your home, the bike what you're using, the car what you're using, the clothing what you're wearing. I say most of them are SAP implemented. Pharma, automobile, FMCG, consumer durable, textiles, media, name a domain. All leading companies go by SAP. And globally, out of entire ERP's market share, what is SAP's market share? 60 to 80% of the companies globally work on SAP. That's where the product SAP stands. There is no downfall, there is no competitor, there is no bigger product than SAP. And at least for next 25 years, there is no downfall. So you can plan up your retirement. Simple and straight. For next 25 years, at least it will be number one. So 60 to 80 companies globally, out of 100 companies, if you take 60 to 80 companies are on SAP. What else you want? So the leading, highly paid, highly secured, highly designated, highly career oriented SAP. Okay. So I see people who are working on Oracle, people who are working on other platforms, they are moving to SAP. Why? Because presently their companies working on SAP. Now their companies are moving to SAP. I mean, presently their clients are using Oracle. Now they are migrating to SAP. We got to learn. So the people are working on other technologies also coming to learn SAP. You people, when starting up your career, it's a good process. So the technology, the domain what you selected is evergreen, SAP. Module, SD is must in every project. Without SD, there is no project. It is an evergreen module. 365 days, 24/7 requirements will be there. Do you fit into that requirement? Knowledge is base. I am here to groom up to every expectation of the knowledge. You are here to learn up to my expectation. When you meet my expectation, definitely you can meet other individuals' expectation. Okay, so how dedicatedly you are involving yourself in this process? After this, it should be a take-off time for you. 2 నెలలు కోర్స్ చేసిన తర్వాత థర్డ్ మంత్ జాబ్ క్రాక్ చేసే कॉन्फिडेंस you will be building. 2 महीना कोर्स करने के बाद तीसरी महीना जॉब करने का कॉन्फिडेंस you will be building when you learn the entire subject what I teach. So how effectively you are following my guidelines, it is all based upon that your career. And I am here to help the best to my trainees. You can see how best I help to my trainees. You yourself can cross check with the previous batch trainees. They themselves tell you. Okay, when you interact with the coordinator, they will show the mails, how the trainees write the feedback mails after the course. It is not made to write, it is their expression. Happy expression of somebody's. When you see your confidence of yes, okay. Normally we see these days we have a habit of cross-checking with the friends. Do you use this product? How you felt? Yes, that's how it works. Okay, fine. Now SAP stands for Systems Application Product, which is purely meant for maintaining the database of the company. So any company you go for SAP implementation, it is all for database maintenance. Okay. Started by 5 key IBM engineers with a company called SAP AG. With a single system architecture, one system architecture. Today we are working on R3, 3-tier architecture. What is R3, what is R1, where R2 gone in between, you'll understand. R1 means one system architecture. Ante, that means Server itself is the developer and server all are in one layer. That is the laptop what you're using, it itself is a server, it itself is application layer, it itself is a presentation layer. This was in 70s. Way back in 80s, this and this too was, sorry, way back in 80s, this two was one layer and this is separate. This is on the main database, the development used to be happen and then the presentation layer was separate. Now, way back in 90s, three layer: admin layer, consultant work area, end user work area. Database maintenance is admin part. Consultant work area. Who is consultant? Technical, tester, functional. Technical, we have ABAP. Testing, we have QTP consultant for testing purpose. Functional, it's we. So developer goes for development, tester tests, then the functional consultant customizes, integrates, and that application will be used by the end user. Now just now I've shown you a sales order for HLL. That is from this point. So the configuration of HLL is done at here. That is what you're going to learn. So you're learning how to set up in this layer as a consultant point of view, and you're seeing the execution as an end user point of view. So you learn how to make the things, you learn how to execute the things. During this process, you learn how to troubleshoot issues. All right. So that is the concept of three-tier architecture. This architecture, when introduced in 90s, the boom of SAP implementation is going high because of user-friendly, highly secured, highly organized, highly presentable infrastructure. Still, you will understand much more in detail as how we go. And they are the people who are known as the founders of SAP. Okay, when I say introduction, it should be complete right from the basics. Done. Now, I say right from the beginning, this training program goes like a project. My trainee understand the project process, project functionality, project preferences, project phases right from the day one. See, implementation. In order to implement SAP into a company, it takes not less than 12 to 18 months of time. What you'll do all this days? If I divide the total process, it has a development stage, it got a testing stage, then the product of SAP is ready. Company's infrastructure is huge, right? కంపెనీ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ని అర్థం చేసుకోవాలా, అనలైజ్ చేయాలా, డాక్యుమెంట్ చేయాలా, క్రాస్ చెక్ చేయాలా, ఆథరైజ్ source from the client should be undersigned, then you start making it. So there are a lot of phases at a high level 3, but if I divide and go in detail, we have these many: project preparation, business blueprint, a realization, final preparation, go live and support. Now here watch me. For example, if I take an example of Hyundai is the company where the SAP is getting implemented. For example, think IBM is the service provider. You are an employee of IBM, understand? And IBM got a project to implement SAP into Hyundai. Okay, on behalf of IBM, you are addressing Hyundai as a consultant. As a consultant, you need to understand the project process. As a consultant, you need to understand the Hyundai infrastructure business process. As a consultant, you need to understand the Hyundai infrastructure as a business process. Come to a realization stage. as a consultant, you need to configure the entire Hyundai infrastructure, integrate, and then test it. Just now you've seen for HLL, when I was creating a sales order from SD, it was showing the inputs of finance, it was showing the inputs of production planning, it was showing the inputs of materials management, it was showing the inputs of warehouse. You test it. When you're raising a sales order, pricing is presenting, plan functionality is presenting, availability is presenting, and stock recognizing is presenting. So testing is done by every model consultant from sales point of view, my side, from finance point of view, his side, from production point of view, his side, from inventory point of view, his side, warehouse point of view, his side. Finally, the employees of Hyundai need to be get trained, but also done by us only. Then the product of SAP, which is customized on behalf of IBM by the consultant team, that is SAP product, will be handed out to Hyundai, and their employees will work on, like just now you seen for HLL, the creation of sales order. That is the end user job will be done by the employees of where you implemented. Any issues you will support, you will solve it. So as a consultant, you will be the make. As a consultant, you will troubleshoot. So in this entire training program, you learn how to make everything, how to troubleshoot everything. Everything goes very lively in terms of understanding and in terms of execution. All right. So that is all about the flow of the very basics in terms of introduction, what is SAP, where it stands in the market, how the training program is designed, how this training program is helpful for you to groom up to every expectation of job market, how it goes like a project based, real time, how it will give you one full end-to-end understanding, how complete SD with other model integrations. Everything I made you understood clearly. Still, I'm going to share this recording to the coordinator. Please collect the recording and go through and give your understanding to the coordinator so that he will be knowing you will be in for tomorrow's session. Tomorrow I am going to introduce to the sales domain. అంటే ఒక కంపెనీలో సేల్స్ ఎట్లా ఫ్లో అవుతాయని బేసిక్స్ మనకు తెలుసుంటే ఎస్డి మోడల్లో ఏంటి అన్నది అర్థమైపోతుంది. एक कंपनी में जनरली सेल्स कैसा फ्लो होगा अगर आपको समझ में आया तो एसडी मॉडल में क्या क्या कॉन्फ़िगर करेगा और उसका इम्पैक्ट क्या है आपको बेहतर समझ में आता है. Because in this training room, some may be from the sales background, some may not be from the sales background, some may be just pass out from the academy, some may be working on other platforms. Lot of people will be coming, different platforms. But for everybody, the journey will be starting right from the scratch level. How the sales flow in a company, when you understand, then you can understand why you are customizing SD module and what all the application come in SD. When you get that comparative statement, when you get that clarity, you will get your focus attentive. ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నామని అర్థమవుతే అది ఎట్లా చేయాలని ఫోకస్ చేస్తారు. क्यों कर रहे अगर समझ में आया तो कैसा करना फोकस कर सकते हैं. Okay, so tomorrow will be introduction to the core sales model, and from there slowly I'll take off to the functionality of SAP SD model, and one by one we'll start. All right, so thank you all. Do go through the recording. You may have lot of doubts. Do make a note of all those doubts. I'll address everybody's doubts. Not now. Once you re-go through the recording, your doubts will get clarified in most. Still, I am there to help you out. All right. So do go through the recording, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's session. Thank you for your all valuable time spending with me for your participation. See you all in tomorrow's session. Good night and good day, everybody. Bye-bye.